So getting a bass to translate in a big room and both have, you know, the girth it needs to fill, but yet to still have the punch and the tone, and I mean it's a big challenge.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in many ways the most difficult instrument of all, especially in a big space. Talk about what you do to make the bass cut and speak and impact and everything.
So I actually have two bass lines. He plays electric bass and then he plays a Moog bass, and I kind of treat those a little bit differently because the Moog is more of a pad, you know, more of a electronic sound, and then the bass guitar is actually all here in the channel strip. So I am doing the 2A optical. Works really well, kind of got a mid ratio, like a 4:1, and really not hitting a whole lot. I'm kind of letting the bass be dynamic in that regard. There is anywhere between 1 and 4 dB of reduction at any given point.
And does he have a compressor pedal as well?
No,
or so
he doesn't.
You're getting full dynamics.
Yeah, so it comes right out of the wireless into a Noble DI, kind of a specialized DI, tube DI, and then it comes right to me. So it goes right to that 2A, and then it goes right to this Rupert EQ 773. Love this EQ. But one of the cool things that I really enjoy about it is the drive circuit. And what's interesting about this is you can really just all the way up this thing, and it's super saturating. It's not over the top, it's not really crunchy, but it's super useful. It really kind of rounds out that bass tone because it gives it that edge, you know.
I'm doing a real musical overdrive too. It's not it doesn't sound digital or mechanical. It sounds real natural and musical.
And it's a low end drive too. It's not like a typical fuzz on the top end or anything like that. It's like a low harmonic situation, which is really great. It goes right into there, and then from that point I actually go into this EQ 1A, and I'm doing the classic Pultec trick, which is you're boosting and attenuating at the same frequency selection. And what that does is, because the filters are a little bit different, is it gives you a boost on the high end, but then since you're kind of competing attenuation and boost, it gives a nice cut out of the low mid. It's something that people don't really know about in the live world because we don't really have access to these type of units or emulations really, but that works out really well because it gets that kind of 125 to 400 frequency buildup range in the low mid region, and it kind of tames it down a little bit, which is really cool. And I found this to be one of my first go-tos when I got this console. It's like, well, I'm going to see if that works, and it works beautifully.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. In addition to all of this that's going on, one of the challenges that I think any mixer would have is competing with a kick drum, right? And so what I have found works really well, especially for Kelsey's type of music, is I am doing the Comp 260 on the channel strip keyed off of the kick drum. So anytime the kick drum hits, it's compressing the bass anywhere between 2 to 6 dB. That creates a nice hole for the kick drum to punch through, but it's a fast enough hole to where you don't really notice it unless you've soloed up the bass, which you'll hear now. But it sounds completely bizarre on its own, but in a whole mix, it's really, really useful. I will turn that on here. So you're creating the space without sacrificing getting too muddy. Yeah, and it's so easy to do internally on here as well. You can just key it right off the internal key.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.